Me again. I have come to the woods today for a solo camp. The weather isn't great. I am all wet weather geared up. I am supposed to be in the Lake Districts this weekend and it hasn't happened. So I have kind of just brought my kit as I was going to take, but I have, because I've driven to the woods and I'm not walking, I have brought a few extra bits and some of my bushcraft stuff as well. So I'm going to go and set up a tarp so I've got a dry area to work in. The shelter is no more. Shelter's gone. I'll explain more about that later, but in the meantime I'm going to go and get a tarp up so that I can bring you with me, and then yeah, let's see what happens this weekend, shall we? Already looking wild, honestly. Right, so as you can see, I've kind of got a tarp set up behind me. It's been a bit of a battle, to be honest, because the wind still hasn't dropped yet. It's meant to be dropping, like already dropped, but it is less than it was earlier. But so tarp is up. Took me a while to remember the knots. God, I don't know why I've got a mental block with knots. But anyway, yeah, so just going to get the tent up now, going to get the kettle on. I'm absolutely gasping for a drink. So yeah, I'll bring you back in a sec when the tent's up. Okay, so she's up. Probably a bit more of a faff than it should have been, but it's only the second time I've put it up, and the first time on my own, actually. Oh no, the third time I've put it up. Okay, but yeah, it is easy enough. I know every man and his dog seems to have one of these tents. I am going to do a bit of a review of it this weekend. This is, yeah, it's only the second time I've camped in it, but it is quite windy today, so I think that would be quite a good test. The only reason I've got the tarp up really is just because of the rain. I know it's meant to rain pretty much the whole of the rest of today and all this evening, so I just wanted a dry area. I'm going to have a slightly different take on this tent to a lot of people, because at 6'1", I often think people don't kind of mention what it's like for taller people. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, just going to get everything in the tent now, and I'll bring you back in a sec. Just in the nick of time. Absolutely peeing it down. So that's it, tent's all set up. Just sitting here having a breather for a sec. I'm going to get the kettle on now. I've got a headache. Yeah. There's nowhere in the world I'd rather be right now than right here. Even though it's raining. Right, while I'm waiting for my kettle to boil, I just thought I would kind of explain what I've done. So I have literally brought my rucksack as it was packed to go to the Lake District, and I'm apologising now if I've already said this. I really can't remember what I've said. I swear I've got dementia coming on. Yeah, so I've just brought my rucksack as was, so I've literally bought food like for 2 days or 2 nights, should I say, like I was meant to be doing up in the lakes. I've literally bought my clothes as I was going to take. I've brought my rum, yes, as I was going to take. So much rum, but because, yeah, like I said earlier, because I have come straight from home, and I really haven't had to walk very far, I have brought a few extra bits with me just so that I've got everything I need, especially in the woods as well, because obviously I was planning on being up in the hills, so I wouldn't have needed a knife or a saw or whatever. So I've just brought everything. The weather tomorrow is meant to be really dry, so I'm hoping I can just spend the whole day here in the woods tomorrow, maybe do some carving. I've only brought, well no, I have brought my bush box actually. I have brought the bush box, so I might have a little fire on that tomorrow maybe, but I'm just using the stove and the whole cook system that I was going to use up in the hills. I've got my new Snug Pack sleeping bag to try tonight. Very excited. My new raincoat, Rab Downpour I think it is, which so far is amazing and I love it. I'll talk a bit more about that. My Berghaus waterproof trousers, which have already proved completely invaluable. So I've had lots of sort of new bits that I really was desperate to try out, and to say that I sulked yesterday about not going to the lakes is an understatement. My poor family. Everything was like, I'm meant to be in the lakes, you know, I'm not meant to be washing, or I'm not meant to be cooking tea. So yeah, sorry family, grumpy yesterday to be fair. But yeah, so really glad to be here. I will show you inside the tent in a minute so you can see my sleep system. Certainly not minimalist, but I was so cold when I did my last wild camp. I do not want to be cold again. So yeah, I've brought my nice pillow because my inflatable one went down, so I've got a different pillow. So yeah, I'll show you it all this weekend. Right, so inside my tent I have obviously my bed. So I bought a new mat, a multi-mat. It's with the silver lining on it. I bought it initially because it said it was lighter than the one I used on my solo camp. Only when I got it, it actually wasn't at all. So I was a bit miffed, but we will make use of it anyway within the family, and obviously coming here I didn't have to carry it very far, so I'm going to use it this weekend. But yes, it is quite a lot heavier than it says it is on the website, so a bit miffed about that. I've got my Xtherm Thermarest, Neolite Thermarest. I have my new Snugpack Elite Softy 4 sleeping bag, which I'm very excited to try. It is a mummy bag, and I know I've explained before I'm not a mummy bag person, but it's got an extra baffle in it so you can zip it up and it's a bit wider. And actually, after being so cold last time in a mummy bag, and actually it wasn't too bad, so I'm giving it a go. And yes, complete luxury, don't care. Thermarest pillow. I've got scoliosis in my neck, so my neck has to be supported and has to be comfortable, otherwise I just don't sleep. Obviously on the last camp my inflatable pillow went down, so I was really uncomfortable, so yeah, just wasn't going to do that again basically. I just wanted to show you this as well. I watched somebody who had this really posh special bag to keep their electrical stuff in, and it kind of doubles as you can put if you use those dehydrated meals, you can put them in to while they're warming up, because they're like insulated. I had a look and I think it was like 30 quid for this special bag. This was off eBay and I think it was about 6 quid. It's like an insulated lunch bag, but actually it works really well. So I've got this to put my like battery packs and all my electrical bits basically I keep in there when it's packed in my rucksack. And I have just stuck in some of these disposable hand warmers. I don't like these, but I bought them because I was going wild camping and carrying all my stuff. I've got reusable hand warmers which ordinarily I would use, but they are flipping heavy, so I went with that option. I've brought an extra wool jumper just because I'm in the woods and didn't have to carry it in. That's my clothes bag. That's my very sexy bum bag. But it's got all kind of essentials and non-essential bits in, makeup and stuff like that, wipes, there's all sorts of bits and bobs in there. And then over here I've got that's my bush crafty kind of rucksack with the extra stuff in that I would not have taken on wild camp, and then my rucksack's there. And this epic, look at it, woohoo, how's that for a hip flask? And I will show you, if I can take my waterproof trousers off at any time, I'll show you the reason I bought that, because it slides perfectly in a pocket in my leggings, which is awesome. And then down here I've got a table which I didn't take on my last camp and I got told off. So I've got this little lightweight table which folds totally flat in your rucksack. It actually got a little bit squished today, but yeah, from Novice Wild Camper. Really nice guy, brilliant channel, brilliant little table. But yeah, check him out on YouTube, but also, and I'll put a link in the comments, but also check out his eBay shop where you can get the tables. And I think it was about tenner, 12 quid, something like that. So yeah, absolute bargain. And it does just make a difference having a little table in camp. So yeah, so that's that. So I'm just going to chill here for a bit and open a beer, I think, only I've forgotten my bottle opener. That'll be an interesting challenge. Hello. Okay, I've just about got every layer on already and it's only early, but I'm going to cook up some tea now. Still waiting for the wind to let up, and it still isn't, but yeah, just going to get some tea on. I'm having the same thing that I had when I did my last solo camp, because it was so flipping lovely that I just wanted to have it again. So I will show you. So I bought a chorizo. Again, I'm meant to be camping for 2 nights, so I was going to use half tonight and half the second night, but obviously I'll just use half of that tonight. It's the non-spicy one. I love spicy food, but maybe not when I'm wild camping, just in case. I don't want a dodgy tummy. And yeah, I bought a tarp and a mushroom rice. It's simple. I can just stick them both in a pan together, chop up the chorizo, mix it all together and heat it through for a few minutes, and that's it. It weighs a flipping ton. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I figured I was going to have this the first night, so by the second day of walking it would have been gone. So, and it was lovely. So there. So yeah, I'm going to get this on, get the stove going, and have some food. I'll show you my spork in a minute. It's very exciting. So my spork is new because I saw it. I'm sure it was Di from Camp and Wild Dragon used this on one of his recent videos, and I saw the colour and I had to have it. It's from Decathlon, and it is a lot, to be fair to me as well, other than being a nice pretty colour, it is actually a lot lighter than the one I used in my last camp, so there was actually a good reason for me purchasing it. But you have to admit, it's pretty cool. Funky purple. Had to be done. And I forgot my bottle opener. Pain in the ass. So, having tried to do it on the edge of logs and they're all rotten, that didn't work. I then tried to use a knife and I managed to kind of prise it a little bit. No, my saw. I basically had to karate chop the lid off with the back of my saw. So that was interesting. See, I wasn't meant to, again, going on the actual wild camp, I wasn't going to be bringing beers. I've just got my ridiculously oversized hip flask that I was going to bring, so I wasn't going to bring beers, and then I was like, well, hey, I'm driving to the woods, I can have some beer as well. So I brought a few bottles of beer and didn't even think about needing a bottle opener. But where there is a will, there is a way. Probably look like some mad, desperate woman trying to open my beer. God damn it! Let me in! Let me in! I'm missing my dance anthems. I might have to put those on in a minute. Anyone who's followed me for a while knows that that's a Saturday night tradition. Again, had I known I was coming to the woods, I probably would have bought a steak or something like that, but I just thought, you know what, I've bought this food, I might as well have it. It's easy, it's quick. I knew the weather wasn't going to be great. I'd like to say it's stopped raining. It's that really fine mizzle, and it's blowing like right across the valley, straight at me. Bag for my rubbish, leave no trace. Right, so that's it. Wait a few minutes now. I did bring some extra water as well. So my original plan for my wild camp was these 2 bottles. This is a water to go, covered in it. So you can just literally fill this up and it's got a filter in it. That's what I used on my first solo camp, and obviously that's just a bottle. I did buy a Sawyer mini filter, and that was what I was going to use. Obviously going for 2 days, there's no way that would have been enough water. You can't, you can filter obviously into the water to go bottle, but then if you want to cook pasta or rice or whatever, you can't tip the water out through the filter. It's a real nightmare. So I bought a Sawyer mini filter to be able to filter into the bigger bottle. Coming to the woods, there is a stream, so there is a water source, but we're next to a field where there's loads of cattle, and it's agricultural land, so just not safe. There's no way even with a Sawyer mini filter I was drinking that water. So I have brought a 2-litre bottle of water with me, probably well excessive of what I'd need, but there is no other water source here, and I'm hoping to be here all day tomorrow, so I have a bit of a thing of running out of water. So so I've got that. So have my tea in a minute. I'm starving. Looking good. Not for everybody, I'm well aware of that, but I like it. I've not tried any of these they're dehydrated meals. Not tried any of them really. I like real food. I'm a real boy. I like real food. So I haven't tried any of those. Don't knock it till you try it. I know. And maybe I will at some point in time. But the meal I was going to have on my second night was couscous, sun-dried tomato and garlic couscous that you just need a tiny bit of water and you just sit it there for 5 minutes. And again, I was going to put the rest of my chorizo in it. So I thought that was quite an easy dinner. Not that anyone cares, but I'm trying to eat less gluten because it's been upsetting my stomach. So that kind of made it more complicated really, trying to think of meal ideas that weren't gluten. So I'm aware couscous is gluten, but again it was like one meal, but I've started to buy gluten-free bread, wraps, pita bread. Obviously this meal is gluten-free. So yeah, and it's just made things a little bit more complicated, but has made a massive difference to how I've been feeling, so it's well worth doing. But yeah, it does make it more complicated trying to think of camping meals when you're trying to avoid something. So for breakfast tomorrow I have pre-cooked some bacon and sausages and mushrooms, which I then froze. That was Gareth and Zoe's idea. Amazing. So I've done that for tomorrow and I'll have that in gluten-free wraps. Brilliant. And for my second morning, as was going to be, I bought some gluten-free porridge. I don't get that, how you can have gluten-free oats. But anyway, that's what it was. I am going to call that done and sit here and eat my tea, and I won't show you that because who wants to see me stuffing my gob. So I'll bring you back in a bit. Well, it's still flipping windy. I don't know when this wind is supposed to stop, but it hasn't, like, at all. I'm here with my big woolly jumper on now. See, this is one of the things I wouldn't have had up in the hills, but yeah, I'm glad I've brought it with me, to be fair. It's really flipping cold. What? It's May, for God's sake. Somebody tell, like, Mother Nature it's May. It's nearly summer. I'm just having a few beers, chilling, feeling really relaxed, loving it, just loving sitting here listening to the wind and the rain and just all dry and snuggling in my tent. Love it, absolutely love it. So I've done a fair bit of filming today, which I'm chuffed about. Tomorrow I'm hoping it stops raining because I really want to do a review of this tent, and kind of need it dry to be able to do that really, but I will do a little bit in here tonight. But yeah, just loving life. So I am starting on my hip flask. This is a mammoth hip flask, bought for a 2-day wild camp. Clearly not going to drink it all tonight, but hey, seemed silly not to bring it. So cheers everybody, happy Saturday. Good stuff. Crack and rum, absolute best. That'll keep the chills at bay, won't it? Morning. I don't know if you can hear, it's still flipping windy outside. It did stop, the rain and wind stopped, I don't know what time it was, early hours of the morning for a little while, and it went really, really quiet. And then I got woken by a deer, a really loud deer, like doing their, like, sounds like they're coughing or barking almost, and I could hear, like, it was really close to the tent, I could hear the feet on the ground and stuff. And then he went away, and then it got windy again. Brilliant. And it has rained this morning. It's meant to be a dry day today, but yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm just laying here all snuggled. My sleeping bag is incredible, absolutely love it. Really, really warm last night, so yeah, chuffed to bits with that. And it was a cold night last night, not anywhere near as cold as last time, but yeah, nice and toasty warm, so that was good. Slipping though all night long down the bed, so kept having to wake myself back up. Yeah, I need to do something about that. I have seen someone on one of the Facebook groups I follow that's kind of stuck some tape or something onto their bed that stopped their sleeping bag from slipping, so I'm gonna have to look at doing something like that, because you can't, you know, it's very, very rare you get a flat pitch, and just to be sliding all night long does my head in. So yeah, but I'm gonna get up in a minute. I need a wee, don't want to go outside. Want to put the kettle on, have a cuppa, get some brekkie, and yeah, get on with the day. But I'm just going to lay here a bit longer because I'm nice and snuggled. still cold and still flipping windy, as I'm sure you can hear. So my tarp stayed up though. I'm quite chuffed, considering I struggled. It wasn't the knots that go around the tree, that was absolutely fine. I can remember how to do those. Can't remember what they're called, but I can remember how to do those. And it wasn't the prostic knots, that was absolutely fine. It was the slidey knot for the guy lines where I had to go down to the ground. I've gone to the tree on, I think, 5 points, and then there was a couple that I had to go to pegs, but it's held up, so I'm chuffed, really chuffed about that. And it's been invaluable, really, having a dry space to kind of work outside the tent for cooking and things. I haven't, van behind me, guy who owns the Woodlands, the other side of the track. I haven't really shown you what I'm eating because it's boring, because I've literally just, like I said yesterday, I've just brought the food that I was going to take on the wild camp, which isn't the most exciting food at all. So yeah, I haven't really shared any of that with you, but I do want to come out more into the woods and do some proper cooking on the fire and stuff, so I will do that. But it's good to have plans, isn't it, for the future? And I just thought I would explain, down behind me here, ignoring the van, that's where our shelter was. So after the last lockdown from like January, obviously we couldn't come here for a good few months, and when we came back the shelter was no more. Can't exactly work out what happened to it. I think a smaller tree must have fallen and hit one of the main posts or something and just took it. So we decided to dismantle it. So we've still got our benches here. We've still got, down behind me there, our fire pit, which we've lined with clay from in the woods. So it's like it is a proper fire pit. So this is still always going to be base camp. Where the tent is quite flat-ish. It's sloped, but a flattish spot. We can just about fit 2 tents there, so when we come with the boys they've got room for their tent and we can be next to them, so works really well. No trees here, it's mainly birch and ash, I think. Yeah, so yeah, no big beech trees or oak trees with widowmakers, so that's an added bonus. Obviously we've had the woods now a few years, and with all the storms that we've had, this area has always remained standing. So other than that one little tree that we think took out our shelter potentially, and there was one slightly dodgy looking tree, but again nowhere near where we put the tents, so that's the main thing. So yeah, I'm just enjoying coffee. I've had my breakfast, just enjoying being here, really, being out. It's just so nice to be out. But I will probably start packing up soon-ish. I'm in no rush to get home at all. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to show you, was my leggings. Hang on, I'm going to have to bring you back in a second because I'm all unorganised. Hang on. I'm really hoping you can hear me because this wind's hideous. Right, so when I knew I was going on a wild camp for 2 nights up in the hills with several friends who all like a drink, I wanted to make sure I had enough booze with me to last me for a couple of days. And I love my rum, I love it. At home I wouldn't generally just drink neat rum, but when you're out there's something just really special about it. And I know from my last solo camp that it just helped me chill and relax, and I slept really well. So I wanted a bigger version. So this is the biggest one I could find. It's a 12 ounce, I don't know what that equates to in fluid ounces, or millilitres, sorry. But yeah, the beauty of this is in my leggings, I've got these pockets, which are it's for your phone really, but look. How cool's that? So there you go. You see, so I could take that with me, put it in there, and it didn't have to go in my rucksack, so it didn't sort of count as weight that I was carrying. Genius. Look. They don't advertise them as hip flask pockets, but it works flipping brilliantly. But yeah, all joking aside, these leggings are amazing because they've got a pocket like that on either side. 2 hip flasks. No, just joking. But for your phone, my phone is rubbish and needs to be charging like all the time basically, so I can have my battery pack like I have at the minute. Ooh, where is it there? So my battery pack can go in there, I've got wires dangling everywhere, my charging lead, my microphone lead, but it works. So yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to show that because I thought that genius. So any of you girls out there, if you want, looking for something to wear for wild camping and you want a hip flask, there you go. I've got one more thing to say. I'm aware I've talked bloody loads in this video and I'm really sorry. It's because it's not a lot else to show you when it's so flipping windy outside. I just want to say a massive thank you. I have in the last few days gone over 500 subscribers, which is incredible. I'm not going to cry, but oh my god, I honestly, every single new subscriber makes me so happy. So thank you to everybody who watches me. I still find it insane that I've got people watching me in other countries, let alone in the UK. It's just mental. So thank you so much. I will give some serious thought to another giveaway. Obviously I've only just done my 400. This, like, it's just, yeah, mental. It's gone mad the last few weeks. So I think it's because obviously I did a solo wild camp up on Dartmoor and I've been doing wild swimming and stuff. So I think obviously people are enjoying the content I'm putting up. So it's just, yeah, amazing. So I will give some serious thought to my next giveaway and what the prize could be. I think it's going to have to be something else that I carve, but I will have a think about what. So yeah, I just wanted to say a massive thank you. I haven't put anything on social media as yet because last time I did, I had loads of people unsubscribe. So I haven't put anything on there yet. I will, but yeah, just thank you to each and every single one of you. It absolutely means the world to me. So thank you. Okay, so with the exception of the tent and the tarp, but I wasn't going to bring that wild camping in the lakes, but yeah, so with the exception of those two things, all of my gear is laid out on this bench. The rucksack and the bag on the end are additional things that I picked up because of coming to the woods and needing some slightly different stuff like saw. It's all my kind of bushcrafty stuff, but other than that, I've got my Van Gogh Sherpa rucksack, which is incredible. I did an unbagging video on it, but I will do a review at some point. It's the amazing rucksack. I love it, absolutely love it. You can just see my little first aid kit hanging on the side there. I've got like a little tiny cloth towel thing as well, my water bottles, my keys obviously, my multi-mat trekker I think it is, again I'll put all the details in the description, my Softy Elite snug pack sleeping bag, which is incredible, love it, Thermarest bed, Thermarest pillow, my table from Novice Wild Camper, my hip flask, very important, red dry bag's got my dry clothes in it. I'm actually wearing most of my clothes though, to be fair, because it's so flipping cold. Little wash bag, the pink bag has got all my electricals in it, my waterproofs, my cook set, little piece of old carry mat as a sit mat, and then my beautiful bum bag. So that's it, that's everything. So now to get everything packed away, get the tent packed away, the tarp packed away, and get home. And it's still windy. Seriously, man, what is wrong with this weather? Right, that's me done. Everything packed up. Leave no trace. Almost forgot my ridge line. But yeah, so all packed up now. Just got to get back to the car, So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit different. I'd normally be a lot more bushcrafty if I was in the woods, but as I've explained, yeah, just a slightly different camp this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and yeah, look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care guys, see you soon, bye.